feeling this morning?
Oh, good. Great.
Hey, great. Well, today's lecture, or speech, or whatever you want to call it, it's actually, we're going to be connecting some of the dots in some of my previous lectures. Back at the beginning of the year, I spoke about our thoughts and beliefs, and then when I was welcome back home, I spoke about in search of the ultimate experience. And so today we're going to connect some of those dots. And so today we're going to speak about life being a series of choices. And so what do I mean by life is a series of choices? We constantly are making choices. Even to come here today was a choice, consciously or not. You know, you just didn't appear here by chance or coincidence. So, over the course of your life, your good and bad decisions will collaborate to forge your unique path and the transient nature of our existence here in the infinite realms of possibilities. Okay, we say that Earth is the school of life. We're here to learn, to progress. But what are we here to actually do besides learn and progress? What are we progressing and what are we learning? We're basically learning to, via our experiences, to evolve. And what are we evolving? We're evolving not this material, vessel that houses the spirit, but we're learning to evolve the soul. We all know that we are energy. And what is energy? Energy and light are basically the same thing. So, in our learning, in the progression of the evolvement of the soul, we have to go through experiences here on the earth plane. But it's not just experiences, because behind those experiences are the thoughts that we put into that which we desire to create for the experience here on this earth plane. And what does that have to do with in search of the ultimate experience? Okay? Some of us go from spiritual event to spiritual event seeking, and this is part of the lecture I did last time I was here. What are we seeking? Because we're not getting enough, so we go from spiritual event to spiritual event, hoping to hear something that would trigger that ultimate experience that's going to say, oh, I get it, the light bulb goes off, and then we become one with whatever thoughts we gave to, whatever energy we give to our thoughts, to create or manifest that which is going to bring us whatever it is that we're searching. And a lot of us, we're searching, not realizing what are we looking for. And so we need to take the time to sit back and reflect upon our experiences. And not just that, we have to think about the thoughts that we're putting out that's creating whatever experiences we're having. Again, the day is the day. It's not good, it's not bad. The day is 24 hours, and we get to choose what sticker we're going to put on. Oh, this was not a good day. For you may not be a good day because that's your perspective. For somebody else that had the most amazing day, it was the glorious day on earth, okay? So again, the day is 24 hours. It's not good, it's not bad. Just like our experiences, until we label them via the choices that we have made, okay? The choices we have made, because we're constantly making choices, then we stick, and us humans like to stick labels on everything. This is a table, and it's got a tablecloth, and we stick it all over the place, identifying. But do we really take time to identify what's going on within? Okay. This morning, as usual, Spirit always gives me stuff, and not to follow the script, but Spirit was giving me about how do we start the day. Okay, basically I'm going to give you an example of how I start the day. The way my bed is situated, at the one side there's a 45-degree walls where I can get to look out. And the minute I see the light of day, sometimes I even wake up before the light of day. So thank you, God, for another day. That's how I start my day, even before I get out of bed. I may still stay in bed for a couple hours, contemplating on what experiences I had in a different realm. Because when we lay our heads down, we're dead to this reality. We're experiencing life in a totally different reality. And sometimes we're not even conscious that we're doing that. We literally leave the earth plane mentally, or spiritually if you choose to say so, and yet we experience an entirely different realm. So, again, what does all of this have to do with our thoughts and the search for the ultimate experience, and today the choices we make? How you start your day is how your day is going to evolve. If you get up because you're running late, okay, then we have to look at, did I set my clock right, or did it go off, or whatever that caused you to get up late? Okay, so you're starting your day late, and you're always going to be trying to catch up. Okay, there is no trying, by the way. So we go through the process of trying to catch up because we already had a late start. In the Army, and this came to me, those, I don't know how many of veterans are here, or people that are still active in the military. You know, we're ingrained to, when we get up, we have to make our bed, okay? How many people make their beds before they leave the house? Okay, for good numbers. Do you actually realize that by taking that moment to make your bed, you're actually starting your day in a positive way, because you did something to accomplish to set your day, because at the end of the day, where were we going back to? We're going back to bed, right? So if you left your bed in a mess, you're going to go back to that mess that you left that morning with. And in the Army, you're ingrained to make your bed, again, to not just a discipline, because it's a kind of brainwashing, if you will, to get the mind to set to a particular practice, to be mindful. And that's what you're doing, being mindful. When you make your bed and you take the time to make it, I'm one of those people that are a little anal, if you will, when it comes to the bed. When I make the bed, it's got to be pristine. At least the first time when I change the sheets. The second time, but it's still, we make the bed. In my household, the last person to get up is responsible for making the bed. Okay, my husband, he's not a military person. So depending how it feels, either the bed will look somewhat made up or kind of look a little bit sloppy, okay? Not realizing that, like I said, you're going to have to go back to what you set your day. And so if the bed, I know what mood he's in. If the bed is kind of pristine, he's in a good day. If it's not, okay. Whatever challenges he has to face, he's going to face. So, again, the series of choices we make, consciously or not. And we all know that they are our thoughts we create. But it's not just the thoughts, because you have to put energy into those thoughts to create. Things just don't happen on their own without the driving force of the energy. And again, like I said, we are energy. We are a light being. And so, how do you use your energy during the course of the day? If you started off late, like I said, you're going to be trying to catch up on the day. The day is the day. It doesn't change for no one, okay? And it's a natural law. So, what about the choices we make, consciously or not? If you really take the time to contemplate what it is that we're here to learn, what it is that we're here to evolve as human beings, as a species of a race, being conscious of how we treat one another. If we're confident enough to look someone in the eye, again, the eyes are the windows to the souls. Some of us don't even have that contact, eye-to-eye contact with another person. Kind of glare here and there, but very seldom do people actually look somebody in the eye when they're speaking to them and making that connection. Another thing that, again, social media, as good as it is, has, with its benefits, also has a side effect. In the middle of a conversation, oh, wait a minute, I have to pick up this phone. We're having a conversation, but yet we need to engage in a different conversation with somebody else. The phone can always wait, okay? And this is how we get so distracted in that connection with our fellow man. We get so distracted with everything else, but giving that person that may need a smile a few minutes of your attention to uplift them, and vice versa, because when we uplift someone, we uplift ourselves, because that's how the cycle of life is. What we put out is what we get back. So again, the choices we make in one way or another will come back to you. If you put out a negative thought, it may take a little while, but eventually it will come back to you. And like I said in my last lecture, then we say, we plant those seeds, and then when they're studying, well, where did that come from? Because we forgot we weren't so nice to that person that was in line in front of us because they took their time in doing something when they should have been ready. But that's their reality, okay? Because we are responsible for making our own reality via the choices that we constantly, consciously or unconsciously make. So we have to be cognizant of the thought processes that we're doing, generating. And not only that, the energy that we're putting behind those thoughts, because that's what actually brings it into manifestation. It's the driving energy of anything that makes the reality. And we don't really create here in this physical plane, because the thoughts are not part of the physical plane. They're somewhere out there. So we think they're somewhere out there, but they're not. They're within. And so we create in that invisible realm, and then it gets manifested here in the physical. Because the thought can be sent out. You don't see the thought, but you see the results of the thought. We do good, and we see the results. We see the fruits of the good thoughts that we put out by somebody being kind and generous to us because we did the same for someone else. That's how the law of return happens. That's how the law manifests here in the physical plane. What we put out is what we're eventually going to receive. And then don't look out there. Where did that come from? Look within. What did I do to manifest this that's come back to me? Good, bad, or indifferent. It will always come back to you. One of the hardest principles or laws, if you choose, that it's for us humans to realize is the law of one. Anybody has heard about the law of one? No hands. Okay, a few people. Okay. The law of one really means that we're all one. We're all one from that divine spark. But yet we think that divine spark is individual. It came from the same source. Just like in your family, you're part of your mother and your father's energy. And yet we think we're separate. So that causes separation, it causes all kinds of conflicts and all of these other things that we can go down a rabbit hole. Because we think everything is separate, but yet the law of one, which is a very hard concept to really take in, because as we look around, look at the diversity of the identities of the individuals. But yet, we don't see what is in common in all of us. We don't see that divine spark in each and every one that we all have. So if we look at each other as being separate, you're there and I'm here, but what is between you and I? I may be standing up here, but I'm really down there with you, because we're all in the same space. We're breathing all the same energy from the divine. And yet we don't see it that way because we're so involved in everything else that really, again, we should be paying more attention to the choices that we make. We made a choice to show up at church. Why? Like I said later, what brought you to church today? Okay. Maybe to see my beautiful face. Okay. But that's superficial. Again, and I'll pose that question, what brought you to church today? To hear words of wisdom, to hear our hymnals, to raise the vibration, to sing praise of joy to that supreme being that's over everything, that's created everything. Okay. Again, on choices. We make choices consciously and unconsciously. But it's more beneficial if we make choices consciously to bring about the result that we would like to see, to bring about more happiness, more choice, more harmony with each and every one. Again, there's a saying, war does not bring about peace. War does not bring about peace. So going to war is not bringing about peace. But then there is an aspect to that too. The fourth ray in esoteric astrology, harmony through conflict. There always has to be conflict so that we can reach a state of harmony, and vice versa, because nothing is stagnant. We sometimes have to have chaos in a life to realize that that's not our state of being. So we feel at ease when we're in a state of chaos, don't we? And then we choose to be in a state of peace. We need to go back and reflect and sit back and contemplate what has brought this, this conflict about. But don't look outside. Don't look beyond yourself. Look within. Take responsibility for what you created, consciously or unconsciously. Okay, because when we say, why do things happen to me? We're always looking outside. We're looking somewhere to place the blame on, rather than say, what did I do to bring this into my reality? What choices did I make that has brought this into my reality? And most of the time, it'd be unconscious choices that we've made. That we react rather than acting. We react because that person cut us off, or because that person's not fast enough. And when we do that, we give away our power, because then that person has triggered us, and we're not acting in a manner or making clear choices to keep our state of peace, to keep a state of harmony, to keep us in a state of unity. And when we do that, then we're truly evolving our soul. We're truly learning, okay? We're truly learning to be compassionate. And when we're compassionate, then we are really seeing that divine spark in whomever we are facing with. And when we look into the eyes, when we're having an honest conversation with them, there cannot be a deeper connection between two souls, two human beings that came from the same divine spark, that originating source that created everything. Not just us as human beings, and all of this in this physical world, it's just loaned to us for the experiences of the choices we make. Because when we leave this earth plane, none of this goes with us. So once again, it's the choices that we make in life that is most important. Think about it. Think about the choices that we make that may be hurtful or harmful to our fellow man, and even to ourselves and an environment and this beautiful planet Earth. Think consciously. I'll leave you with those words of inspiration, and may have a blessed day.
Thank you.